okay. Hopefully, I'm just testing the mic. Right, I think that's good. So, yeah, today we're going to be doing a nice little flight. So let's just go ahead and mute that then. And I just need to move some of my tabs around because they're a bit disorganised. I don't know, it's trying to fit everything on one screen, really. While still obviously being able to see my YouTube chat. It turns out it's a bit of a problem getting that to happen. So, there you go. I think I got it all up and good. Yep, lovely. Got the Vatsim up and all that sort of stuff. Lovely. Okay, so today, let's go back to here. Right, lovely. I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and start planning. So today, we're going to be flying a lovely little flight today from Belfast City down to Inverness. That's the plan. So what I want to go ahead and do. So stands are unknown. So we're just going to load in normal stands. Now, Belfast City, I could get scenery for, so that's good. It's not UK 2000 because they're not offering it free, unfortunately, but it's still some pretty good scenery. So I'm not sure if it's worked because I couldn't click on it properly, couldn't activate it totally correctly. But fingers crossed. I just need to move my little throttle quadrant into the position I have it when I'm flying, because I need to move the position when I'm driving on my steering wheel. It's unfortunately what I have to deal with because of the lack of space. So here we are. I've just loaded into my Majestic. It just said bank angle. You wouldn't have heard it. Right, I'm not sure. I personally think this might be default scenery still. I can't really tell because I've never been here before. But it still looks a bit default. But, you know, I don't really mind. It's a small airport. It's not much of an issue. So I'm not great. The only thing I managed to accurately do was the knock one. All the others it doesn't recognise, which obviously it's a bit unfortunate. But you know, it's what can I do? It's no part of my fault even. You know, it just happens. So what I also need to get up is the Majestic flight program. So let's go ahead and get that up. First of all, though, I need to go and start putting in all the details for today's flight on SimBrief. So the flight number today is BE331. We're departing from EGAC and landing at EGPE. Only flown to Inverness once before. Haven't flown there a lot. And then it's a -8. So DH8D is the code for the aircraft. The registration today of the one we've been given is GECOI. That's it. ATC call sign today is Jersey 1 Lima Hotel. That's all that in. Okay, lovely. It's passengers, we've got 71, so almost full. Cargo, we have 0. 0 cargo. Quite funny that. Also, I found this out. There are no SIDS and no stars at either of these airports. So, quite interesting that. We've been given flight level 230. So that's what we're going to be taking today. Right, I'm going to look at the metas and all that sort of stuff. So, actually, I can get the desktop capture up for you guys now. And the desktop audio. Get both of those up. So, there you go. There's the display capture. So you can now see my lovely, so that's what Majestic -8. So we're checking the metas for the two airports. So EGAC, we have winds 320 at 9. So that's closer to 04, just. And to be honest, it doesn't really favour either. It's a 10 gap and an 8 gap, so obviously I pick the smaller one. So that's runway 04 and EGPE, I believe it is, isn't it? EGPE? Yeah, it is. And that is 020 at 3 knots, meaning runway 05 is preferred. I'm going to have a look at the aerodrome chart now, actually, to see. Obviously, we've got a small runway and a big runway. The big one is 05 and 23. That's the main one. That's the one we want to be using, obviously. So 05, perfect. So I'm happy with what Simbrief's given me. Let's have a look through the routes, and I'll try and pick maybe a similar one. It looks pretty similar, actually, what they've given me. I'm not going to be entering the route. I'm going to just simply enter it in via a company route, which is a lot easier in this plane. Trust me. You can do it. Actually, let's enter it as a proper route to show you guys how you enter a proper route in this lovely little majestic aircraft. It is literally a majestic aircraft. It is. Because that's what it's made by. It's literally made by a company called Majestic. So what we'll do now, I think, time to go ahead and connect to Vatsim. Actually, no, it's not connected to Vatsim yet, because I haven't got any of the details for the flight yet. So you can clearly see here it has the latest nav data. It expires in 5 days. So in 5 days' time, I'm going to go and need to install a bunch of that again. But here's all the info. Got it all up, which is good, obviously. Very good. Make sure the desktop audio is running, unlike the stream we did on Wednesday. Be a good idea, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'm just checking the FIRs, because at the moment it's a bit of a shame. The Irish one is online, and now the London one's also online. But I don't think we passed through the London one for such a small bit, it's pointless. But this is what's really weird, because it's Northern Ireland, we're not covered by the Irish control, we're covered by Scottish control, which is silly. I guess there's no point in having a Northern Ireland control because it's so small. I don't know why they didn't just put it in, I don't know, there's probably some reason why they've done it, hasn't there? They've got some reason for it, but, you know, that's obviously, I won't know about that, will I? So let's go ahead and, I want to enter in all the weights of the plane first, which is the easiest thing to do, isn't it? So what we want to do is go to weight and balance. So today we want to always keep the weight towards the back of the plane. I think it was the back of the plane, wasn't it? I haven't flown this thing in quite some time. It's almost a full aircraft today though, so not that that's really going to matter. It's literally almost full. Was it 71 today? So it's almost full. Trip fuel today is going to... Oh, great. Accidentally opened a PDF. Right, 2609. So let's go ahead and enter that in. 2609. And this is what's really weird. We've got no cargo. Zero cargo. So we'll calculate that. And so we've got that in packs. Obviously we've got the fuel, and that's it, that's all we've got. So let's go ahead and send the data down to the flight sim, and that's that dealt with. So now let's go ahead and do this page here. So 71, it's already worked that out. Cargo is 0, fuel on board is 2609. So hopefully it should be working out. I'll give it the gross. It should work this all out, but it hasn't. Unfortunately, it's not accepting 0 as the cargo. I'll just put 1. There you go. It doesn't accept 0. Top tip for this aircraft, it does not accept 0. I obviously didn't know that, but, you know. Let's go ahead and refresh this smart card and go fly. So let's go ahead and copy in our brand new route here. It's actually very similar to the old one. We've still got 71 passengers. And we've still got 23,000 feet cruise altitude, so let's go ahead and start that flight there. And you'll hear some cabin crew from Flybe in the background, but you know. So that's all of that. So now we need to go ahead and enter in all the details for the flight. What I'm first going to do though, before I do any of that, is start all the services for the aircraft itself. So let's go ahead and get GSX up. Oh, I need to put the parking brake in, which I believe is this little one here. Yes, it is. And we'll get these guys. What do they? It doesn't. It says handler unknown. I'm going to guess it's someone like Menzies. That's just who we're going to use. I didn't ask it for that. I asked it for boarding. What? I don't know why it says boarding no longer available. Let me guess. My GSX has crashed. No, it hasn't. Right. Boarding. Yeah. And there you go. That appears to have worked. 71 passengers. And then Menzies. Hopefully. So we're opening the bag door, the passenger door, and the other passenger door. So I'll keep that like that for now. I'll just make sure we've got all the fuel in there, which we have. So I think now it's time for us to connect to Vatsim. Now I've got all the details of the flight. So flight plan. Let's go ahead and enter this all in. It's EGAC to EGPE. Our alternate today, I think, was Edinburgh. So EGPH. It was EGPH, isn't it? That is Edinburgh. Yes, it is. Departure time today was 17:45 Zulu. I think we might end up being slightly later than that, but never mind. Time en route today is going to be 45 minutes. And amount of fuel is going to be 2 hours 26.
I'm right next to it.
They want me to, what was it, open? Why are these exits shut? I have no idea why they shut. Cruising altitude is going to be 230. I'm a bit annoyed that it shut them because I didn't purposely do it, but there you go. And cruising speed today is obviously going to be a bit lower, given the aircraft. So let's have a look. This is while we're still at cruising, yeah? No, that's after we descend. Here you go. 323. So I'm just going to put 325 in there. Okay, and then the route is that one there. It's quite a long route today. A very long route, in fact, for such a short flight. Oh, I'm not connected. So connect with the call sign of BEE. What was it? 1 Lima Hotel.
Hello.
And it is the code for it is a DH8D. Connect. And it's, make sure it's text only, which it is, and then file. So that's all that set. So now our job is to go ahead and enter in the route and all that. So EGAC, which is that. Yeah, which is an airport, Belfast City, it's recognised that. And then it's direct to Maggie. It's a totally different like keyboard to what I'm used to. So there you go, like a totally different thing. So Maggie is an intersection, perfectly fine with that. And then we're going direct to Blacker. So that is that. Yep. And then after that, I can't remember how we do this now. It's no, not info, not overflow, list. Not list. Oh, great. I've forgotten this. I'm not great, am I? I'm positive it was list, but it must not be list. Airway? I think that's what it is. You click list, then airway. So I need to just I need to delete this, yeah? And then I need to click list, and then airway. Yes, that's it. And we're taking P600 as far as TRN. So that's number 4. And then from TRN, it's direct to GWO. And there's probably going to be multiple ones of these, isn't there? It's recommended Glasgow, which sounds about right to me. Obviously, we'll check to make sure I haven't messed up. GWO is Glasgow, so it's the Glasgow VOR. Just check there's not two called Glasgow. Oh, they are. They are. Actually, they're in the same place. Both of them are in the same place, which seems stupid to me. And then it's it's N560, so number 4, as far as Nesdy. So that's 5. There you go. And then from Nesdy, it's direct to Gussie. Why is this such a long route for such a short flight? It's literally a 195-mile flight. And then it's direct. Yeah, it's got 2 of them. They are completely different places. So let's go ahead and check that. Gussie. N5712. Yeah, that's the one. So that's the correct Gussie. Normally it is the one that it gives you first, but it's always good to check. And then it's direct to Inns, which I'm guessing is Inverness. VOR, isn't it? Probably is. And it is, yeah. There's actually 6 of them in the world, including another Inverness one. But obviously both the Inverness ones are the same. It's definitely the Inverness one. There you go. You can tell it's only 20 miles away, which indicates it's definite then. So let's go back. Oh yeah, I need to enter in my destination airport then, which is EGPE. There you go. That should be it. Yep, Inverness Airport. And then what I want to do now is go back to EGAC. Was it info? No, it wasn't info. I think it was list. And then I can't actually remember. Was it data? It was something, and then arrival. Menu. There you go. Menu. Depart. We're going today off runway 04. And there's no SID. So we're going off 04. Not that that actually matters anymore. And then we're taking in arrival. Runway 05. No star, obviously. And we're taking the ILS 05. We will. Let's take the INS transition, because that's obviously where we're heading in. And that's it. I think that is literally the flight. Delete the no links. They're basically discontinuities. There you go. Okay, so that's all of them. Apart from this one. So close exit 3. I think we are closing all of them. Just finally check, there is no ATC in the area, so that means I have to switch to Unicon, which means I have to power all these up, which I haven't done yet, so let's go ahead and get those up. And close that one, and then we need to start at the APU. How do you do that on this aircraft? Oh great, honestly, it hasn't been that long since I've flown it, and I've managed to forget half of this. Okay, here you go, power, start. That's how you do it, and I click gen when the gen light goes on. I remember this.
Welcome on board our -8 Q400. I'm just waiting for the...
By the way, ignore the flight time on this because it's completely wrong.
To get underway in a few minutes. On behalf of the entire flight crew, I wish you a pleasant flight.
Get the weather radar off because we don't need that. And then I need it's nav, I think. VNav? I can't remember. IAS maybe, yeah. Alt select. The altitude today is obviously 230. What's the first restriction though? There are no. Oh yeah, there are no restrictions, are there? I'm being silly. But in this thing, I think you also need to do. And it's nav, isn't it? I'm trying to click nav, but it won't let me. The yaw dampers need to be on, actually, don't they? Do they need to be on? I think they do. I can't remember. It won't let me select nav though. Oh yeah, I need to change this to FMS1, and then it'll let me. I'll also change this over to FMS1. Has this started? Yes, it has. So I can pop that in there, which means that the APU. I'll put the bleed air on as well. So all this is good. And then we need to do a couple of tests, don't we? There's these tests down here, which are all good. And we need to do the auto feather. Test that and all that. Get the auxiliary fuel pumps on as well, which you only need for takeoff, and that's it. So it's done the auto feather, it's armed the auto feather. And that's it, I think. So let's test that. Let's go ahead and push ourselves back then. So which way are we going? We're going to runway 0... Actually, I think... So we're going off runway 05? No, 04. So that's in that direction. So I'm going to want to push back. Basically, that's left. So I'm going to want to go... I'm going to want to go left. Because I want to turn around, obviously. I'm pretty sure that's it. I need to make sure the plane's running on APU power as well.
Hello, Captain.
I don't need
We're ready for
do I?
pushback.
The anti-collisions need to come on. And they want me to remove the GPU. Right, if I've done that correctly, there should be no power loss to the plane. Please say I've done that right, please say I've done that right. Oh, I also need to cross-fill everything, don't I? Oh, no, I can't remember. I'm being... No. Oh, this is not nice. Which one? I can't remember. You have to cross-fill everything. But do I click cross-fill on this one? Or cross-fill... I think I click cross-fill on this one, you know.
Locking
Please
gear.
don't say this goes wrong. If it goes wrong, that's the... No. No! I did it wrong. Oh, great. Okay, that's just completely messed me up. This is why... Okay, forget it. What I'm going to do now, then. This is why...
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
I always did it
Release parking brakes.
with the Majestic via folders is because this happened. This always happens. I always put it in the
Release
wrong
parking brakes.
one. Always put it in the wrong one. And that's what happens.
Commencing push.
So I need to
All
go
engines clear. Start at will.
busy at that moment. So what I need to do now is go into airplanes, Majestic, and then I need to go to nav, and then routes. Copy it in there. That route is now in my plane. So what I'll do is simply put that in. So EGNM to EGHI, is that it? No. There you go, it's the first one on the list. I simply enter that in, and hopefully it should have put it in. It hasn't. Jeez, it's only 2001. What's happened? Why isn't it letting me? Why won't it let me select the route? It won't let me select the route. Can I select any others? Like, is it bugging out? It's not letting me select any routes. Is this game kidding me? It's not letting me select any routes now. One. It's seriously stupid, this. One. Okay. 0, 1. Oh, why won't it let me do that? It won't let me copy a thing in.
Set parking
A route.
brakes.
It won't let me copy a route in. If for some reason it's not letting me, which I don't really understand. If I try on this FMC here. 1. Yes, it works. Okay, and what I now do is crossfill. And that should have worked, yeah? Yes, it's worked. Okay, so I panic over.
Unlocking gear.
I need to learn, still need to learn that, don't I? It's pretty annoying, but you know.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin
And then
removed.
the arrival is runway 05. ILS. Yeah, and then INS. There you go. That's all sorted. It shouldn't have deleted the fuel because I didn't do anything to the fuel. Good. Oh man, I hate this plane.
Left is clear.
That's what I
Right is
always
clear.
used to do, is do that. Okay, so what I need to do now is, obviously I'm a bit behind, aren't I? So move that to start and feather, and then
Clear to start engines.
the engine controls are somewhere here. So I put one of the, oh there you go, I remember now. So, and then select that, and then start. And that should start the engines. Yeah, I can see one of them firing up. Come on, do I need to do anything to get them to fire into life, or is that automatic? Yeah, it's just spinning around slowly at the moment. I need to do something else, but I can never remember what. Oh man, this is what happens when you haven't flown a plane in a while. This happens, you know? Packs off, maybe? That's what it is, but now the planes are not this one. Does it need to be off, the ignition? Why can't I remember how to start the engines in this thing? Oh, there you go. I found it. Putting the boot air into ISO appears to have started them.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
And they've started. Lovely. I don't know how. I think that was because I clicked boost air. I think it was.
Today will be approximately 2 hours. Would you please fasten your seatbelts and refrain from smoking? If you want to use any electronic equipment, we would kindly ask you to contact us first. For takeoff and landing, these devices must be switched off, and the cellular phones may not be used during the entire flight.
Okay, so they're doing all this now. Now I can take off the APU, because it should be using the engines. And then I need to put these up to max. Okay, now I should be ready to go. Oh man, this is what happens when you haven't flown. As I said, this is what happens when you haven't flown an aircraft for a while. That reminds me, I still need to get it into Unicom. So that's 122.8. So I'm now on to Unicom. There are no planes whatsoever.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention to the international safety regulations. This aircraft has 6 emergency exits.
So now we should get no lights on here if we set the plane up correctly. Oh, anti-skid. Yep. There you go. Get that on, and that should get rid of. And that means we set up the plane correctly. Like there's no lights up there, no warning lights. That means we set it up all correctly. Let's go ahead and get the TCAS on. We need to hold that down, and that means it's now on. So at least I remember most things from this plane, just not all. Put that back to FMS 1 and then out and then nav.
Pull the life vest over your head. Fasten the life vest by connecting the hooks to the ring.
And it needs to be in vertical speed normally, this plane.
On leaving the aircraft, pull the threads tight and the life vest will inflate. Thread tubes are located on both sides for
you can see our lovely little Flybe DH8 there.
For more detailed information, please refer to the
Yes, I'm a bit of a noob with this plane, but you know, that's how it is, isn't it?
Thank you for your attention.
I still need to cross all the fuel over as well. And this time I'm going to do it from the correct FMC. Because I'm not a moron. And I need to go to, I like to keep it on this fuel page here, because it tells me how long I've got left. 195 miles is today's flight, approximately, which is bang on what it should be. 196 now. But yeah, that's bang on what it should be, basically. We've got all the fuel in there that we need, all that sort of stuff, which is good. I still haven't done the arrival, actually, thinking about it. I still haven't done that arrival, have I? Positive I selected it. Actually, I think I did. Oh, I remember why now. I'm being stupid, aren't I? I need to cross-fill this again. Menu. Oh, that's fuel menu, that's why. Crossfield flight plan. This time doing it from the right FMC. And that's, what, 378 miles? That's got to be a bug, right? I mean, I know it does bug out a bit, that counter. But there's no way it's 378 miles. Like, there's no way I've added 200 miles to the flight, is there? I'll hold here at this bit of the runway and then check it out, because I don't trust that. It doesn't seem right. 378 miles. Is it sure? Actually, it could be to do with the no links, couldn't it? The no links might have caused it to think it's a bit bugged. I've had that from experience. It can, like, having those no links in there can do that. It can make it think that it's a crazy long route. I do hate it though that with this plane you have to do the cross filling. I mean, it's actually quite annoying. Like, why can't? That's what I don't understand, is why can't it just do it itself? You know, like, it does that in every other plane that I've flown. So why can't this one manage it? You know. And then before I take off, I'm going to quickly do a little check. To make sure, so I'm going to click here and then list and then plan to make sure that it's done this all correctly. That has done nothing. List, plan. Okay, that hasn't. Okay, so here you go. I found out how to do it. It was somewhere around here, wasn't it? So there's some way to turn it into the plan mode. So I get to look ahead at what's happening, isn't there? I'm positive there's some way of doing it. This is saying it's only 14 miles. That's to the next waypoint, though. But I'm looking here, and there's nothing here I can see that suggests it's that long. Nothing. You know, like, looks perfectly normal to me. Okay, let's just go ahead and take off. So EGAC TFC CO runway 04. There you go. Let's go ahead and get out of here. So we're actually only 3 minutes late leaving, so not too bad. Not too bad, it's pretty good actually. So, you know, I'm personally happy with that. The rudder trim's in line, so I'll just check my smart car system and it's all good, so let's get lined up with the runway and all that and take off. So and I'm ready to go now, so full power. And this thing tends to go a bit crazy because you can't actually steer it when it's on the runway, which unfortunately can cause me to lose control of it. Because as you know, I don't have rudder pedals. I'm happy with that actually. Managed to get it straight. It's quite hard to get this thing straight. 80 knots. No, there it goes. There it goes. And that's the unfortunate thing. Is it's look, I'm not steering anywhere. I was trying to use the rudder, but no, I can never do a straight takeoff in this thing. I'm just gonna make sure all the controls are straight because I don't want it going absolutely insane. Gears coming up. start the clock now. I just realised I forgot to put the flaps down for takeoff. Oh man. What is going on today? Right, the autopilot is in. After Maggie, apparently it doesn't know what it's doing. What? It does, doesn't it? Bit confused about that. But this thing doesn't know where it's going later, which is actually a bit weird. Right, I'll put that into out mode now. Does out mode just keep it at that altitude? It does. Now I've sort of taken off a bit, I can put the power, not this power, back to 900. Those come off now. I never put any of the lights on, apart oh well.
Cabin crew sees for departure plans.
For some reason this thing hasn't got any clue what it's doing after this next bit. Right, let's ease down the climb a bit now. I also tend to have rough landings in this thing, so be prepared. I don't know why it doesn't think there's I don't know why it thinks there's nothing after Maggie, because there is, which is a bit odd. Another example of this plane just being a bit unusual. Really unusual, actually. It's being really unusual. You know, why for some reason it can't, understand this? I don't really understand. I don't know if that makes no sense. Is that I'm hoping, I don't think there is a way, unfortunately, of doing there's no way of looking ahead at the route, I don't think. Well, right now, according to this, there is no route. I'm going to direct to Maggie. Yes, that's worked. Entering direct to Maggie has fixed itself, which is good. Because I didn't want any of that faff, and I haven't got it. So doing that's helped, obviously. I can slow this thing down a bit now. I still need to go standard pressure, don't I? Where's... Oh, I think there is... Oh, middle mouse button. Middle mouse button's done nothing. Oh, I forgot. Again, this plane... You don't need to set it. Some planes are weird. You need to set some. You need to set to standard. Others you just leave as is. Now, I don't think we're going to be contacted by the London Centre. Is it the whole of the London Centre online? It is, but I don't think we'll be handed off to them because we're passing through such a small portion of their airspace, like miniature portion. Right, let's get the fasten seatbelt signs off. There's no auto setting on this plane, so oh well.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your own safety, we instruct you to keep your seatbelt fastened during the entire flight. Please observe that this flight is a non-smoking.
And now we're going to take the vertical speed down to about what I expect. Then the power all the way up to the top again. So where should we be reaching our top of climb? Just before Turnberry. So just before TRN is where I expect, well, where this expects me to reach top of climb. I'm trying to increase speed at the moment, but I don't think selecting altitude works, does it? So I'll just go like by 1200 while this thing increases its speed a bit. So a bit of a slower climb while this thing increases speed. Obviously it's a bit more, you do have to do more in this aircraft. It's not as simple as the Airbus or the Boeing. It's not as simple. Definitely say that. It's nowhere near as simple in terms of the autopilot, but it's still very fun. It's a very fun aircraft to fly. I very much like it. Hang on a minute, is this the plan mode? It is plan mode, okay. I found out how to do plan mode then. Okay, so I need to turn this all the way down, don't I? Okay, so yeah, it's exactly what I'm familiar with. When you normally get transitions like this, you pass the airport, and then you turn around and then land. So I don't know where it's getting the detail from that it needs to be this. I mean, it's saying that it's it's a really long route, up at like 390 miles, but I can't really understand. 350 miles now still, which I don't understand. I think it's to do with that, but it's a bit odd, isn't it? A bit odd, but let's just ignore it. It's the weird sort of things that this plane does. It's one of them. Okay, so the ground speed is starting to be a bit more what I expected. I'll keep full throttle, but I'll increase the climb speed to a more reasonable 1800 feet per minute. Actually, is that circle where we reach? It isn't. No. What's that circle then? The little circle I've got. Is that of any like? Oh, it's just there. Is that what our course is set to? Let's have a look. Is our course? No, I don't know what that little circle is then. How's the rudder trim? I have to see until once we finish turnies when I get to see. Actually, we've started losing speed, so I'll pop this back down a bit. This thing does climb a bit slowly, but again, it cruises at a lower altitude, so it doesn't need to go as fast. And we are in London's centre area, but they haven't contacted us. I didn't expect to be contacted. No, we're the only ones heading to Inverness. I didn't expect that, obviously. It's expected at this time, Unfortunately, this plane, I have noticed, it does lag out my recording a little bit. It's okay, but it does drop a little bit, which is a shame. I don't know why, because the amount in my sim is exactly the same as always. It must just not like my computer as much, unfortunately. Well, It's actually a Fly UK person at the moment in a little tiny DH6. So it's nice to see other ones. There's also another one. But I don't think I can't see them. There they are. So there's two of them at the moment I can see. They're in a Saab. But I do like that, that you get. You see I always see Fly UK people. Oh, this thing slows down like crazy. I'm only doing 1500 feet per minute. How can it slow down at this rate? Like, I'm not climbing particularly fast, am I? So I'll put it down even more, now down to 1300 feet per minute. So the aim, how far was it before Turnberry? It was, it's basically between Gerver and TRN. It's 15 minutes into the flight, it reckons. 15 minutes. So, and then descent is... Where's descent? It's 3 minutes after Turnberry. So it's how far from the Glasgow VOR? From the Glasgow VOR, it is 3 minutes. So when we're about 2 minutes away from the Glasgow VOR, I always leave a bit extra. So when we're about a bit less, I mean. When I'm 2 minutes from Glasgow VOR, that's when I need to start descending. So it's not particularly long at cruise. I mean, it's quite a short flight, so... And we are cruising up reasonably high, and obviously this plane does not like climbing. You know, I've learned that. It's very slow at climbing. This thing can sometimes tell you when it's time to descend, but it doesn't seem particularly good at it. There's no, like, descent markers or anything, put it that way. What does this... I'm just wondering, this FMC also is telling me that this 332 miles... But I don't get where it's getting that figure from. And I have learned in the past that this can be pretty... what was that little ding? What the... I'm getting a... That's strange. I'm getting a little warning, which I don't get. What's that for? Oh. Cabin pressure. Okay. It's on auto. It's on auto. Why is it... Oh, man. It's messed up, hasn't it? It's on auto, so it shouldn't have done that. It shouldn't... It's on auto, so I don't know why it's done that. There's nothing I can do about that. It's on auto. This is all automatic. Look, the cabin altitude is very slow, but there's nothing I can do about that. There's no, like, button for it, put it that way. There's no button that I can just press. You know, it's an automatic thing, so I don't really understand that. It's completely automatic, that. I've never had that warning before, ever. I don't know, we'll just pretend that everyone must have blacked out now or something. I don't really care. It's not real life. But no, it should all be automatic. Let's try changing... No. No, literally none. Nothing at all. Let's try dumping some of the pressure. So, like, putting it up, basically. So... That's made it worse, dumping it. Right, there you go. I'm going to do it manually, and I'm telling it to increase. So, there you go. I've told it to increase. I've told it do it. So, what should it be then? See, it's sticking, but there. Okay, so I'll keep it in manual, and then increase. This should go up. I don't know, that's weird, because I physically... Oh, I am a bit late now, aren't I? I'm a bit slow at this... I don't get why this thing's slowed down so dramatically. I mean, like, really? I think 230 was a bit too high. Next, I'm going to tell Singbury to do it itself. The altitude, because I think it's too high, the one it's giving me. Okay, so putting it in manual and telling it to go up has done nothing. That is so weird. The overflow valve. Oh, that's just the horn telling me I'm... So when I'm 3 minutes away from Glasgow, 2 minutes away from the Glasgow VOR, that's when I do that. So where is... Okay, it's increasing now. Now I've opened this little valve, which I wouldn't normally need to do, but I guess today maybe... I don't know, actually. I've never had this problem before. I've flown this plane, I think, 4 or 5 times, and I've never, ever had an issue like that. Ever. But even now, it has improved. Oh, it is still improving. If I look closely, it is still rising, that little lever. So, what does it need to be for every... So, yeah. I don't know, I don't really care. It's a bit weird. So there you go, it needs to be about 7. So this is 20... It's at 23,000 feet now, roughly. So I'm happy with that now. Don't know, how weird. The cabin pressure's alright now though, so I don't really know why it's done that. Oh, finally, look, we've reached cruise. Which means this thing's actually going to start slowing, it's actually going to start speeding up again. We're only going to be at cruise for 3 minutes, but, you know. It's a shame, I don't get it. So, feet times, so 10,000 feet is that altitude there. Is that the cabin altitude, though? Actually, no, I think I've done it wrong. It's actually gone too far, I think. I thought to dump. I'm telling it to decrease and it's not decreasing. I'll forget it. I'm going to put it in auto and just ignore that's there. I don't know what's going on with it. Just had a nice peaceful flight without it. It's obviously a little bit glitched, maybe. Maybe I haven't done something how I did it before and haven't remembered, which is certainly possible, given that I haven't flown this thing for a while. Let's have a look. I mean, that's the thing. When I took off, there were no red lights, which normally implies no matter what plane you're flying, if there's no warning lights, you're good. Like, you haven't set up anything so wrong that it'll just crash the plane or something, you know, like, that hasn't done anything. This is all temperature control and stuff, that's the thing. Actually, let's go ahead and set the air. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that cabin pressure thing. It's obviously something's happened to it, hasn't it? But, you know, I can start to decrease the speed a little bit now. Like, decrease the throttle down. That reminds me, I do need to set the landing altitude still, which is 31. So let's go ahead and pick the closest one to 31, which is 0. And it's actually time to descend. I'll do it in 2 miles time. I'll start descending. That's crazy. So how far into the flight does it recommend we descend? 19 minutes. That's pretty much accurate then. So when that hits 19, I don't know, it's not as reliable, is it, doing that? Thing is, though, I have got to remember that obviously I've extended my flight by about 10 miles, at least. So the first altitude we need to be above 2,700. So I'll set it for 3,000 for the VOR, the Inverness VOR. That's what I'll do. We're still so far away, like from experience it should not take that long. Unfortunately, I can't actually tell, you know, I can't tell how far it is to my destination because it's messed up. Actually, I can check this, and this says at the moment 110 miles. You what? 110 miles? Well, there's no way I should be descending there, is there? What should... That seems crazy. Anyway, something's happened here, look. Nesdy, I need to be at flight level 170, 170, 170, 130. What's happened there? Something's gone on there, hasn't it? Something's happened that's caused that to bug out. I do think this is way too early to be descending. Way too early. And I'm right, it is too early. No, it's just not normal that I descend that early, you know? Not normal. Don't really understand it, that's the thing. It's a bit of a strange one. And there's no restrictions or anything, so I can't see why it would do it. Hang on a minute, what I might have accidentally done is viewed the wrong waypoints. No, I don't think I have. No, it's one of those things. I thought I might have looked at the wrong, what's it called? The wrong one. Let's have a look at the charts for the ILS approaches here. So it does suggest you do a little loop around. Instrument chart direct arrivals ILS runway 05. So this suggests it doesn't suggest anything. Yeah, it did suggest doing like a right or whatever. What are we right? So we're arriving southbound on the N560, so not below 5,000. That's about what we've got in here, so nothing to think about really. So how far is it now to Inverness? It's 97 miles, so I think roughly 85 miles off. That's when I want to descend. That's like, from experience, that's about when you should start descending. So at foil, I will. At foil, that sounds about right to me. Because how far is it to then to the Inverness? Yeah, it sounds about right. Because according to this, where does that sort of glitch go back to what it should look like? It goes back at Inverness. That's where it sort of seems to, but then though at Lagav and Nesdy and Gussie, it all says flight level 170, which is obviously not correct, is it? It's very obvious that that isn't correct. So I don't know, I think SimBrief has done a bit of a mess up there, hasn't it? SimBrief's messed itself up, annoyingly. Not particularly helpful of it. Really isn't helpful. Actually, I do have, this is one helpful thing to plan. So it reckons I'll be there at 11:45. So how long's that until landing? 11:45, that's 21 minutes. So I think we should start descending about now. Seems about correct to me. So let's go ahead and knock it in, and we'll put it down to 2,700 is the exact restriction, so that's what I'll do. So it's in vertical speed mode, ready to descend, which I will do now. About minus 1,200 for now, maybe 1,300. I need to push back on the throttle a little bit and go into minimum power. The minimum like setting on the RPMs. And go right back on the power as well. That time just seemed about right to descend. And tomorrow we're going to be doing a lovely little stream in the PMDG 737. We're going to be going from I can't remember what anywhere's called, can I? Bristol to Dublin to Manchester tomorrow. So obviously we won't have Dublin scenery, I don't think, because I can never get scenery installed correctly. Because like FSX doesn't recognise it, which is annoying, I know, but you know, that's just how it is. So I can't actually trust looking at sim brief, I don't think. I can't trust it, so... I have to just do it myself, really. It's a shame I would have much preferred it to just do it off the altitude it gave me here, but I couldn't trust that, so... It's a shame, but what else can I do, you know? So actually, let's set the ILS up as well. Tune that. What's the ILS frequency? Let's have a look. Because I need to tune that in. So the ILS frequency here is, oh great, there's two of them. I can't tell which one is which. So there's the IN8 and the ILN. Which one's which? Not helpful. Not helpful at all, game. I'm not game, charts at this point. Because there are two. Like, there are two Inverness.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're suddenly in the cruise, so we're looking good for another time arrival. Our in-flight cabin service has begun, so your choice of flight.
Why has that only just said we're at cruise?
If there's anything else you require, please ask one of our flight attendants for assistance.
This plane!
On behalf of the entire flight crew, we hope you enjoy the rest of the
According to this, we've only just reached cruising altitude, which makes me laugh. Because, as you know, we reached cruising altitude ages ago, and this plane knew our cruising altitude was flying. Well, actually, it doesn't know what our cruising altitude is, because you don't enter that in on this plane. So I don't know why it thinks... I don't know, that's obviously just a bit of a glitch. Clearly. Or something, I don't know. The cabin altitude warning is still there. I can't understand it. It's in auto, so it should all do it itself, but it didn't. It didn't, so, you know... Yeah, I still need to tune the ILS, and I'm not sure which one it is. Because these charts are really unclear. So because there's two, that's the problem. There's two of them, and it's given here. That says ILN there. That little thing there says ILN, which makes me, and that's the one pointing directly at the airfield. So I think it's 108.60. Decimal 60, and then what I can also do, which will help, is go on to, I just search up EGP Sky Vector, I think it is. I think that's the website that does it, Sky Vector, and then it will tell me here what the ILS frequencies are. So they're the nav aids. It should tell me somewhere. At least I'm positive it normally tells you. Nope, it doesn't. Oh well. Really? Not clear at all. So, according to this, it's not telling me. Oh wow. What is going on today? I mean, normally it tells me. But I'm positive it normally does. Unless I've just forgotten. Whatever. Don't know what's going on today. I've said it thousands of times. This thing doesn't know how to slow down when you descend, honestly, it doesn't. It's because the throttle keeps going up when you descend, so that's what happens. But now I've slowed down a bit, because we are approaching that little thing where we do actually have to slow down. Like at 10,000 feet we have to slow down anyway, so... What's good about this as well, because I can control the vertical speed, so if I do find I'm too high, all of a sudden, I can just very quickly hit it. Oh yeah, decision height as well, we need to set that. If the altitude, so it's roughly about 270, I think, it would be. I'm happy with that speed there, so... put pops it up a little bit. Oh, there's actually I can actually see a on my map UKV. I can see a little Skyways one. So where is it? Where am I then in relation to it? It's a Saab. I don't know why, but any aircraft that it doesn't know what it is, it instantly puts as an A321, which I just find is the funniest thing in the world. Why an A321? Of all things, why is it an A321? You could have picked any aircraft in the world in my sim, but they picked that one. So I represent any aircraft it doesn't know. So random. So passing by 14,000. And this is where the Inverness. I keep saying Innsbruck because it's INS, so it confuses me. They're both INS. It's just confusing. It's so annoying. If you hit this vertical speed thing wrong, it changes it by 1,000 feet, not 100 feet. And it just depends on how quickly you move your mouse wheel, and that can really catch me out sometimes. It's not nice. So far we're 31 minutes into the flight, so pretty happy with how that's gone. Got tons of fuel still on board, which is obviously good. Means we haven't been using too much of our fuel. How does this thing look from the outside then? Looks nice, I think. Let's get the seatbelts on now. It's still moaning to me about the cabin, which has started. Oh, finally. So that means the cabin pressure was correct in the first place, so I don't really understand that one. But it's going down. So this says feet times 1,000, so 10,000 feet, just over 10,000 feet, and that's exactly where we are. So why that's wrong, I don't know. Probably forgot some critical step, but you know, oh well. How many playbacks we got on this stream? Only 4. So I would have thought Friday night streams are normally a bit busier. No. Maybe less people want to see the DH8s. Although I prefer the Boeing or the Airbus myself. It's still a very good aircraft. It's just different to fly, compared to the other two I normally fly, or the Beechcraft. But the Beechcraft, I don't think it's particularly suited to online flying. You can put in waypoints, but you can't put in airways on it. And another thing is I have to do the air rack cycle on that manually, which again is a pain. And also it runs much better when it goes directly off an FSX, like an FSX flight plan, which you can't edit. So it's one of those things where it's a much better plane. It's much better suited to offline flying. And maybe I can try some of the default planes sometime as well. See what they're like. The default planes are still good. I mean, I've done them on stream before. I flew from Stansted to Dinard once in a default Ryanair 737. That was quite good. It was still a good flight, but again, a bit less suited maybe to online flying because I can't change around the nav stuff. But I can still do offline flying. I've still got all the AI packs I have and all that, so there's no problem. No problem there. Okay, I think I might have to start slowing down the descent a little bit. This is the thing, if I descended where it asked me to, there's no chance I would have been on time with it. I would have been way early. Let's get the landing lights on now. I need to get myself as a checklist or something. I haven't done a checklist for any of my aircraft. I really need to do that. I'm going to try and do that at some point because I think that's what's going to make the difference. Can you get a cabin view from it now? Does this thing actually have a cabin? It does, a little one, yeah. What I was looking at is the, I think it's the Feel there E195 jets. They look quite good, and I can do them with, and they're on Steam. I might try and find them elsewhere though, because I don't trust Steam as of what happened with the Airbus. The Aerosoft Airbus is obviously, it slows down the game starting. So I'm going to try and avoid buying anything off Steam. Because from experience it makes the add-on worse. And I've looked it up on forums as to why it happens and all that, and almost everybody says just try and buy it offline first before doing it on Steam. And you know, like the websites like Just Flight are very good for that sort of thing, so I will try and search it up first. But I would like to, because it's got a very detailed cabin, it looks quite nice, and you know, I think Fly UK's code share partners, Metro, are over in the US, operate it. So there's a bit of opportunity for US flying there. And not only that, but Flybe obviously operate them. And we don't have to do them, you know, with a virtual airline. We can just do them, you know, random flying. I don't have to be a virtual airline to fly. You can just fly normally. I've done that before. So I think I've timed this pretty well. I think it's roughly 30 miles, so maybe we're a bit too low. But I think we're all right. Oh, it's only 5 miles to Gussie. I thought it was a bit more than that. So it's only 25 miles until we need to be there. So I think we're a little bit low, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. We'll start slowing the plane down a little bit. I don't think we're going to make the 45-minute airtime. What's the average on this web? So the scheduled flight length is 55 minutes, and the average flight time is 54 minutes. But Simbrief was saying 45. I don't trust that. Obviously, that doesn't count the little turn that we do before landing. That doesn't count any of that. So that's why I more trust the average. Is because it's what people do it in normally. How far does this reckon? So 11:50 will be there. This thinks that is 12 minutes, meaning 49 minutes in the air, which is about accurate. I reckon maybe 52 minutes by the time we're down. That's what I'm saying, 52 minutes. And that's the one that's obviously the one that Smart Cars says, because it takes it very directly, Smart Cars. So that's like the most accurate, because it takes it from bang on takeoff to bang on landing, because it tracks my flight sim in detail, so it knows exactly what's going on. For like 20 miles to the airport, where we'll then start to loop, and we need to be at 2,700 for that loop, and then we need to be at 2,700 on the first ILS. We need to hold at 2,700 from when we get to INS. I'm hoping that cabin altitude thing's gone now. It has. That's so weird. It just went. I haven't clicked any buttons. That's what's so strange. I haven't clicked anything, so it's not like I set up something wrong. Otherwise it would be there all the time, wouldn't it? You know, it doesn't just find a solution itself, does it? So that's so weird. Yeah, I'll probably get some person after the stream telling me. I don't know. Actually, I won't, because barely anybody watches these streams. I've got 5 playbacks now, so it's the average is anywhere between 7 and 13 for the flight sim ones. Normally between 7 and 9, a bit more. You know, to have up to 10 is a bit rare. But this sort of slow descent here seems to be going quite well. I'm going to increase the throttle now, because I want to maintain this speed. Unfortunately, what I've done is go faster. I want to maintain speed. So again, there's no auto throttle on this thing. No auto throttle at all. So that's again another thing that makes it a little bit harder to fly compared to the other planes I fly. I do love the approach into Inverness. I have done it once before. I did it in a freeware Beechcraft once, so I wasn't streaming. It was quite good. I did enjoy doing it. So that's obviously, this is ahead now. It's the small runway that they don't use. We're using the bigger runway that they do use. 2,500, what? Oh, the hills maybe. This is why we have to stay at 2,700, I think, is so we don't collide with any of the hills. What the chart say then is the minimum altitude? Minimum altitude is about 1,500 feet. That's the top obstacle. There's a couple of mountains that hit 2,000 as well. A couple of mountains that say that, so that's obviously what it is. We are there coming up to 10 miles early. We're there. That's insane. In terms of handlers, stand unknown, handler unknown. So we'll just park. Let's have a look at the grand chart now. Actually, the aerodrome chart. Let's have a look at it. Terminal's just there, so we're arriving on 05. I think we're going to have to back taxi all the way down the runway because there are no taxiways. None at all. No taxiways. Which is quite funny. Got no taxiways at all. So I think we're going to have to back taxi down the runway to the stands. So would have been better if we landed on the other runway, but you know. Oh well. And then the docking chart. Well, there's literally no stands whatsoever, really. You just pick a stand, I think. So this is it here. So there's A, B, and C just by the terminal building, and they're like little. But there's no actual gate numbers. I think I have to pick that when I land. Bit odd. Right, we've hit 2,700. So I need to put the throttle on. I did not notice that, obviously, because I was checking the charts. Worst time to be checking the charts. But yeah, I've hit it approximately 7 miles early. So imagine if I'd done it from that other VOR, that would have been crazy. And then we need to hold here now until FI05, which is then on to the approach. Now I need to also put the nav source on this to nav1, I think. I think it's nav1. Yeah, nav1, because it's number 1, isn't it? And then nav1 course is... the course of it is... What's the course? I should have done this all earlier, but I forgot. Oh my word. The course is 054. Looking at that. So, 54. There you go. Lovely. It hasn't actually picked up anything yet. On VOR1, which is what it's tuned into, which is 108. That makes me wonder whether I've got the wrong code. 108.6. The other one is 109.2. That's the other one. Because whatever it is, that does not seem correct. Put it that way, it doesn't seem correct. Oh, there you go, it's just hit that waypoint a little bit early, so it's going to start turning now. I think I should put down the into flats 15 for landing in this plane normally. Again, there are no no auto brakes on this plane either, so you know it does have auto spoilers and no auto brakes. But that's the thing, I'm not picking up any ILS here, so let's have a try at the other one, which is 109.2, I think it was. And see if I get anything on that. And I have! I think I have. Yeah, because it says there I'm 4.2 miles away from it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just started our approach.
Oh, there you go, it's a case of trial and error in that case. Just trial and error until I got it right. Okay, so we're at 2,700 now. How many? Yeah, I forgot. I think this is one of those planes that only allows you to go into flaps 5. Yeah, until I put the gear down. What's the speeds for the flaps? I'm just checking it's not the speed that's the issue. I'm positive it was on a little thing round here, little like plaque, like it is on most planes. Here it is. This is the little plaque.
Cabin crew, please take
10 flaps, 181. So yeah, we are actually a bit too fast. 181 and then 172. Gear is 200. It must be also be to do with the gear needs to be open then. So I'm not going to do that yet. Let's just stay under 180 knots. So around this mark, basically. How long has this been then? An hour and 21 minutes. Not bad. Oh, yeah, it's got. I thought it did have a 2D cockpit. I guess it doesn't. I'm positive it did though. But this is Majestic Virtual Cockpit. They're basically the same, I think. Yeah, they basically are, aren't they? Oh yeah, this reminds me, now approaching, I need to put this all the way back up to 1800. I still can't do that. So I do need to wait until I put the gear down, which I won't do until I've turned onto the ILS, in which case I'm going to put approach on then. So this thing's now turning. So I can get approach armed, maybe. I need to actually put the nav source into nav 1 and then approach. Let's not do that, because I just clicked on it and it didn't have it yet. So that obviously went wrong, didn't it? And I'm also set the heading to 054 to make sure it doesn't go all crazy on us. I still need to be at 2,700 here, still, until I reach FI05. That's when the restriction goes. You can see that it's quite a poorly made interior. It's not quite as good as the PMDG, but this was cheaper than the PMDG. I can't remember how much. I think it was £40. I think it was. Anyway, let's have a look. Majestic Q400. I'm pretty sure that's how much it cost for a Majestic. It was obviously on Just Flight. That's £40. It was £40. That's how much I thought it was. That's about what I expect. The PMDG was £15 more. So you know you get what you pay for. £40 is one of the cheapest airplanes I've ever bought. So. But it's still reasonably expensive, but I think it's definitely worth that, given what you get, you know? Right, okay. Hopefully now, if I knock it into this nav mode, it's not going to kill me. Yep, it's hit on the VOR approach, fine, which I'm happy about. I'm glad about that. It's good for me, that. And this is where the restriction goes, and I'm allowed all the way down to 0. There is no glide slope though. I don't think that it'll give me one. I'm not entirely sure. And there's the airport up ahead there, so I don't think I can just take one autopilot. I don't think I can just take control of the altitude. I might actually, if I take out altitude, just completely no. I can't take control of just the altitude, unfortunately. So, we're 8 miles out. I'm disconnecting the autopilot. And I'll have to follow those little pink lines. is going to come down now. Let's have a look at it. Boom, look at that. I love that. It is not. This is why the Dash 8 has such hard landings, the home. So flat's 15, which is a normal landing for this plane. No, it's not. I think I'm going to have to manually do this descent, and it's not going to pick up on it, is it? It doesn't normally. It doesn't normally. Oh, it's annoying, isn't it? But, you know, what can I do about that? And then about 4 miles out, normally need to be about 2,000-ish. Just under 2,000, between 1,500 and 2,000, depending on the airport. This one obviously didn't have a waypoint there, but it's generally a good guide. I don't know, the Pappy lights are good, but from experience I don't think the Pappy lights always work in this game. And we are approaching that 50. I hope it's a 52-minute flight. If it is, I'll be happy. I suspect it's going to be more like 53 or 54 minutes now. But I'm hoping that I'm correct about how good it is. Right, about how accurate I was. Well, this approach does look pretty good though. It is normally a reasonably fast descent in this plane. Like right at the end.
1,000.
There's 1,000. I think we are a little bit high still.
Sink rate.
So I'm forcing this thing. Oh, you can't go back.
Sink
You
rate.
can't go down to 0 exactly in this, but
Sink rate. Plus 100.
right, there you go. 300.
Minimums.
This is where it becomes apparent that I have I'm rubbish at landing this plane. There is a little taxi. I'll try and follow
100.
that around maybe.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Not too bad. I've done worse in this plane. Definitely, that's for certain. And that's it there. So we can put this into taxi. And that's it. It's 53 minutes by that.
Welcome to our final destination. Please remain seated.
I don't get this plane always freezes a little bit. The plane just freezes whenever I adjust the clock. It's so weird. How long was the flight? Oh, 52 minutes. Cool.
On behalf of our airline, we would like to say goodbye to you now. It was a
354. Nah, not too bad in this plane. I can try and turn around on the runway, I think. This thing does turn around quite quickly. It can, anyway. It uses engines to turn around. And we'll get the APU on as well. Taxi lights can come on. Landing lights can come off. All that sort of usual stuff. Yeah, we were able to turn around on the runway successfully. Gates, I don't know, gate 2, I don't really care. These menses again. I don't get it. It's a bit of a weird one. But whenever I click that button on that clock, it causes the plane to just freeze. It's so stupid. Don't know why it does that. I'm happy with the landing now. Taxi along this little Flybe plane. I've told it gate 2 out of the 4 gates there are. Taxiing back along the runway does take a while. But I'm pretty happy with the FPN. About, was it 354? So not too bad. And given the fact that this is a Dash 8, and given the fact that I haven't flown it for a while, and given the fact that it was better than both landings I did on last Saturday's stream, I'll take it. Put it that way, I'll definitely take it. No idea why I did it like that. I think it still classifies as a bit of a hard landing, so I think I'll still lose 10 points on the booking, but not too bad. Better than what I've had, put it that way. I've had some much harder landings before, so... But I do hope you enjoyed this stream with me and the Dash 8. I do enjoy flying the Dash 8. I think I personally prefer some of the other aircraft I've got, but it's not to say I dislike this one. It's always nice to fly something a bit different, isn't it? Always nice. This thing can be very slow at taxiing. If it wants to be, it can. We're definitely going to maybe do some VFR flying. That'll probably be offline. It's this stand here, I think, judging by where they've all parked. Yeah, it's definitely this stand by where they've parked. And as usual, we've got no marshaller, because he's probably inside the building somewhere. Because that usually happens with, I don't know why, but the marshaller always ends up in a building somewhere. Once I did such a hard landing, this thing actually burst the tyres. Like that can happen in this plane. Not the best parking, but reasonable, acceptable. So the flight was 52 minutes in the end. That's what this got, so that's what I'm taking. 52 minutes. I think I was actually supposed to turn this down after, but you know. So cut the fuel, cut the taxi lights, cut the anti-collisions, those can all come off. Go over to menu, oh please be quiet again, it's data, yeah, and then services, GPU request. Don't know what that's barking about, but you know. Because the GPU's arrived, so flick on external power, flick off the APU. Was a bit of an off parking, but you know. Oh well, I'm not the best at parking. Seatbelt sign's coming off, so they will allow those passengers to get off. Right, okay, what do I need to do? I need to disconnect from Vatsim, get Vatsim off, move my live control room into the correct tab. I need to cross off sim brief, cross off charts, and I need to file this flight. So there you go, it's been filed. Cross that off as well. I can also cross off the Majestic control panel. So all that sort of stuff all gone. So yeah, that was the flight. How did we do then in terms of points? Got 70 points for that flight. Flaps not set before takeoff. I did get a down about that. I also got a down one on flaps not retracted before parking. I've been great with the flaps today, have I? And -10 for the hard landing. But apart from that, so it would have been 90. But you know, it's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? Never mind. So I can see the little loop I did before landing. Pretty good. So I can cross that off now as well. Everybody's going to start disembarking now, so I think everything is off as it should be. Let's have a look. That's the observer overhead. There you go.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for a wonderful flight.
I'm just leaving this all as it was actually.
Bye. Have a good one.
Also feather can come off now, actually. That's about it, really.
Bye, thank you for a wonderful flight.
These can come off.
Bye, thank you. Bye.
Make sure the rudder trim's all set, ready for the next flight and all that, so
Bye. Have a good one.
I'm happy with that. This plane's all fit and ready for
Bye-bye.
later. Not that I'll be flying it later. So, end that there. And I'll get this on the end for you guys. Lovely. Let's get rid of the desktop audio. Okay, pretty nice length stream there. Okay, let's just I'll get my yoke unplugged and all that. My flight seems quick now and all that, so yeah. I think I put my mic back up, which is a bit stupid of me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today, and that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.